The only problem is when you ask them to predict what happened before the Big Bang, they say it's too complicated. When you ask string theorists to tell you what lies at the center of a black hole, where again Einstein's theory breaks down, they say it's too complicated. So I ask you, if you have a plumber coming to your home and you say, can you please fix the toilet for me? The plumber says it's too complicated. And then you say, well, would you mind, please, I have a leaky pipe in the kitchen. Could you fix that? And the plumber says, no, I can't. This is too complicated as well. But he says, if you look at the metaverse, this thing that you watch when you put goggles on your head, as Mark Zuckerberg asks you to do. If you go there, there I'm a very accomplished plumber. That's pretty much the sense that I get from speaking with string theorists, because they talk about things that I cannot verify. But when I ask them to do a task that will resolve a puzzle in fundamental physics, they say it's too difficult.
String theory is the theory that everything is connected, correct?
Well, no, it's supposed to be the fundamental theory of reality, where quantum mechanics and gravity, two pillars of modern physics, are unified. And the way they are unified is with the use of extra dimensions. I'll tell you a funny story, an anecdote. A year ago, I had breakfast with a string theorist. And I asked him, what was your most important scientific paper? And he said, it's a paper I wrote, and that is a distinguished scholar, a paper I wrote about supersymmetry, which is a new symmetry of nature that was used by string theorists and other theoretical physicists. The only problem is the Large Hadron Collider, which smashes particles at the highest energies at CERN, looked for this symmetry in its natural parameter space and couldn't find evidence for it. So it was ruled out in the original natural parameter space where supersymmetry was supposed to show up when we smash particles at very high energies. So then I tell my friend, I say, well, why would you be proud of a paper for which there is no evidence? And in fact, there was the experiment at CERN that didn't find supersymmetry. And he said, well, because I'm not worried, because maybe if we build a bigger particle collider, we will find that. And that reminded me of the Jewish Orthodox community in Brooklyn, New York, Crown Heights, the Lubavitchers, where they had a theory that their rabbi, once he dies, he will come back as the Messiah. And then he died and didn't come back. So that's a data point, right? You had a theory, now you have data. The theory is not supported by the data. What did they say? We just have to wait. So I ask you, what's the difference between a believer in religion and a believer in physics? The point is, science is supposed to be attentive to evidence. In other words, there are plenty of good ideas that are just not describing reality. And how do we figure it out? We have the guillotine of experiments that chops the head of ideas that are not matching the evidence. So you have to forget about it and move on.